did another composition with Luther Campbell. Um, when we did the Throw the D record together, there was another record called Ghetto Bass. Basically, it was paying homage to um, his sound system. Was they had a big sound system, 24 cabinets. They always had more bass speakers than they had, mid-range or tweeter speakers. So they called it ghetto bass because it was kind of, in a sense, it wasn't no janky operation. It was a great sound system, but you heard more bass than you heard mids and highs. So we did the thing based off of the sound system that they had, ghetto style DJs. I was, by coming from California, we didn't have those type of sound systems in the nightclubs. So I was really amazed just by seeing, you know, 20 speakers stacked up on one side of the place and then another 20 speakers stacked up on the other side, and they're all lined up, same kind of speakers, 'cause a lot of, in nightclubs you'll have maybe 2 or 3 speakers here, that's one kind of speaker, and then in another part of the club you have another set, another side. All of this stuff was just like, if you was to draw a picture of a bunch of speakers, it's just, you would have to see it. They would stack three speakers high, so you have one level here, one level here, one level there, and it's like 5 speakers across. So that's 15 speakers on one side, and you'll see the same thing on the other side. And then you're not even counting the other cabinets, that's the tweeters. So it looks very intimidating at a place that you're doing an event at. So kind of overwhelming, and the sound that would come out of it was overwhelming also. So it was a record to pay homage to that setup. I made a prediction in 1983 when I heard, 82, when I heard the Planet Rock song. The record was so influential because it took an electronic sound and made it sound funky, whereas all the other records that came out before that was always band oriented. You either hear a horn section, piano, keyboards, guitar players, bass players, regular band stuff that you would hear. But Planet Rock was like the first record that really hit me, that electronic music, the way that it was set up, it was way different than anything that I ever heard. And when I found out that, through an article when I was in England, that the song was done with a Fairlight keyboard computer that cost like $10,000-15,000, and this drum machine called the Roland TR-808, I went and researched the drum machine and found it in a shop in London and was tinkering around with it, and I could hear all of the sounds that actually is on this record. And I said right at the time that I was tinkering around with it that this will be the most influential drum machine ever made. And right now it's in the present day right now, it's still the most relevant. The sounds that come out of that machine, the bass, the snares, the claps, the hi-hats, you can hear it pretty much in every song that's made today. And I knew just in 1982 that this one machine would hold that much significance. And the 808 drum machine is so relevant. It's extremely, I would say 90% of the songs that are done uses one of the elements from this machine. It's about 17 different sounds that's on this machine, and you will find one of those elements probably in a song that you hear on the radio right now to this day. So, but the machine had limits. You didn't really, like today with computers, you can tell what the beat per minute is, which means the tempo of what the song is going, whether it's 128 beats per minute, whether it's 96 beats per minute. It was just a knob that you could either make it go slow or go fast. You didn't really know exactly what tempo you were actually going. It was just what it is that you felt. So when the SP12 and the SP1200 came out, and you were able to take the sounds from the 808 drum machine and transfer them into this machine, into the SP12 or the SP1200, it made it a lot easier to have the machine under control. And the 808 at that time didn't have Um, it had a controller, but it was only control other rolling products. You couldn't hook it up to other things and make it run or synchronize. So there's a couple of little flaws in it, but the sound, there's no machine, you know, Lindrum, any of these other machines that was out at the time could not fade it. That was the machine. And you know, my philosophy is that as long as the kick is hard and the snares or claps are loud, the boom boom jack, boom boom jack, when you hear that, that's gonna move people. If those sounds are not strong in your record, a lot of people will pass on them. If you hear the kick and the snare pounding, people will nod their head whether they like the record or not. They will definitely feel what it is. And that machine definitely had those sounds that would get your attention each and every time.